Well, most of my work is sexual memoir. And this one I thought, since some of it happened here in the district, would be a good one to start with. So this is called Sex Shop Rendezvous and some firsts. Surrounded by 2-foot-high standing dildos that made me fear for the rectal integrity of adventurous sex explorers in San Francisco, I was feeling pretty nervous. How did I think this was a good idea? Meeting someone for the first time in the dildo section of Mr. S's? It sounded crazy, titillating, exciting on the phone. Well, let's start from the beginning. It was mid-afternoon Saturday on a 3-day holiday weekend a few years ago. I just visited a friend in Palo Alto, and as I headed back to Oakland, a call came in on my cell. I pulled over on the Oregon Expressway to answer. I'd been flirting with a friend of a friend online, and we'd just exchanged phone numbers. Somehow I felt safe. Must be that friend of a friend thing. I'm adventurous, but pretty safety conscious usually. So, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm heading home. And you? Well, thinking I'd like to meet you. Oh, when? Well, can you come to San Francisco right now? We could do tea or coffee at Wicked Grounds. Oh. So I looked in the car mirror. My hair looked good. Clothes were casual. It was a little sexy. Decision made. All I was thinking was a meet and greet, get to know you flirt session. Well, that was gonna change. Okay, I said, you want to meet at Wicked Grounds then? Well, he said, I'd really like to meet you at Mr. S's down the block. I need to pick a couple of things up. Oh, like me, I think? Oh, yeah. Okay, it's a big place. Which department? Well, can't miss the dildos. Let's meet there. If this was a movie, we'd feel some foreshadowing since it was excited in the moment me. I just said, oh, sure, that's easy. See you in an hour. Well, that whole drive was foreplay, anticipation. I cranked the radio up and car danced all the way north. And of course, I got there first. Wandered around, kept circling back to the monumental dildo section. And I'm sure after a few minutes, the staff thought I had a high fear attraction to anal play the way I kept buzzing around. Finally, he got there. Funny, smart, younger, shorter in stature, but powerful in personality. Looked friendly, like the cute dad next door in suburbia. But, ooh, he was intense. Burning Man goer, sexual adventure, new technology chaser expert, maker. Ooh, attraction candy for my sweet sexual tooth. We browsed, looked at puppy horseplay hoods, leather restraints, floggers, sex swings, and talked about what we tried or wanted to try. We walked over to Wicked Grounds holding bags in hands. It was early evening now, dusk, a time of possibilities, feeling wicked already. We hung out, drank tea from iron teapots, watched folks dress to go to the old Citadel socializing, human puppies drinking from the big water bowls, and obediently sitting at their human master's knee. Steampunk outfits, leather accessories. But I was focused on him, his stories, the soft caresses. I just barely noticed those puppies. His caresses were growing bolder, and he moved closer on the couch. He wanted the evening to continue. My desire moved in that direction, too. He wanted to go to Power Exchange rather than Citadel. I'd never been. Okay, I was game. Well, men may have a visible sign of being turned on, but so do I. So I started worrying about whether my natural lubrication would become visible through my jeans. And when I got to the key to the large unisex bathroom, he slipped in with me. Now, bathrooms had not been on his list of experimental interests, but once I started peeing, he came over and asked if he could catch it. Surprised, I said, "Go ahead." I'm always polite. He clearly loved it. And intrigued by his response, I wasn't sure of mine. One thing was clear, he was someone who knew how to push consent edges in the moment, but he was still asking and listening to my answer. It was clear he would take a no, but I just had to be ready. Most of my kink partners negotiated up front, and then no changes during the scene. This was different, so my new mantra, I guess, be ready for the ask. When we got to Power Exchange, it was a different vibe than Citadel. Subdued lighting, not the community feel. People getting down to their thing. He gave me a tour, clearly irregular. And even though people are discreet, some of them knew him. And I realized he liked some pretty risky things with some pretty risky people. Let's see. We found a large black rubber covered ottoman. Another couple was already engaged in the other semi-secluded balcony area. Their low voices and moans were lovely background at first. The goodie duffel bag my companion carried was jam-packed with delights. Well-made, do-it-yourself electrical stimulation tools and other unusual toys. Lots and lots of gloves, condoms, and lube. Yay! So we started out with a focus on my pleasure. I'd heard he was an expert with G-spot orgasms, and somehow this was a little too public for me to go for that, because we were starting to attract some voyeurs, which was fine, but the intimacy for a first-time G-spot orgasm seemed to be lacking for me. So I don't want you to worry, though. I wasn't deprived of that amazing experience with a man called the G-Spot Whisperer. It was just delayed. Our next encounter included a kilt, a 4-poster bed, G-Spot orgasm, and a veritable flood of female ejaculation. On the other hand, in the present, there were more voyeurs for him, and he was a more the better kind of guy. So after seeing how he responded to mild external anal stimulation, more towels went down, on the gloves went, and smack, the classic anal auditory erotic signal. His anal rosette started flowering. Even in the low light, I could watch him pulse and unfurl. It seemed so happy, astonishing. I had read about that in erotica, but to watch a rosette so thrilled, it fluttered and fluxed. I was fascinated. Well, lube applied. I started with 1 finger, 2 fingers, more lube, 3 fingers, rinse, repeat. He and the rosette were still happy, vocally happy. We had a crowd. Okay, 4 fingers. As you can see, my hand is not small. He begged for the whole hand. I rubbed his back and slowly filled him. My hand encased, slowly rotated. What a feeling to provide so much ecstasy. Energetic fireworks, explosion in a condom. The crowd moved on. Cleaning up is so mundane and important. What a night.